श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। नारायण समारंभां व्यासशंकर मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरु परंपराम्। Now we are listening to the Atmabodha, that is Atmabodha of Shankara Bhagavatpada, a greatest treatise on Vedanta and personality development. Atmabodha. We are continuing. Samsaraha swapnatulyo hi ragadveshadi sankulaha स्वकाले सत्यवद्भाति प्रबोधे सत्यसद्भवेत्. The world which is filled with attachments or aversions, love or hate, pain or pleasure, and other dual experiences is like a dream. We are having these dvandvas, pleasures and pains, likes and dislikes, etc. So the whole world is filled with all these dvandvas. It appears to be really happening as long as the dream continues, but appears unreal when one is awake. Similarly, once dual experiments in this world appear illusory when one attains self-knowledge through contemplation of such Vedic statements as Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, thou art that, and Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma. Tavat Satyam Jagat Bhati, Suptika Rajatam Yatha, Yavannajñāyate Brahma, सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम्. यावन्नज्ञायते ब्रह्मा सर्वाधिष्ठानमद्वयम्. When we look into an oyster shell, it appears like silver, but it is only a silvery shine. Similarly, till we know the indivisible and supreme self, which is called Brahma, all this creation appears to be real and permanent. Actually, everything we see, hear and feel is creation of Brahma. Whereas Brahma is indivisible, unique and permanent. His creation appears to be different beings, which is nothing but illusion. Because of the effect of this Maya or ignorance, this world reflects itself as different beings and things. Once we know Brahma, the ignorance is dispelled. Once we know Brahma, the ignorance is dispelled. The world that appears to be real ceases to delude us. उपादानेऽखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयान् यान्ति बुद्बुदानीव वारिणि. उपादानेऽखिलाधारे जगन्ति परमेश्वरे सर्गस्थितिलयान् यान्ति बुद्बुदानीव वारिणि. As bubble are developed in water, the whole world is created, developed and destroyed by the Brahma, and exists because of the very Brahma. The most interesting thing is that Brahma is in the form of pure Sachidananda and is like pure water. The bubble is this world which appears to have emanated from Brahma, but it has limited time of existence. As water bubble blows off to become absorbed in water, this world, which is very, very temporary, remains for some time and is destroyed and absorbed in Brahma only. सच्चिदात्मन्यनुन्यूते सच्चिदात्मन्यनुस्यूते नित्ये विष्णौ प्रकल्पिताः व्यक्तो विविधाः सर्वा हाटके कटकादिवत् व्यक्तो विविधाः सर्वा हाटके कटकादिवत्. A gold ornament, all gold ornaments have different names but are basically of gold only. Chains, rings, so many such names are there for the ornaments, but basically they are of gold only. Similarly, all the manifested world of things with different names are basically forms of the all-pervading Vishnu, whose nature is existence, intelligence. Sachit Atma, Sachidatma. When we take any gold ornament to a jeweler, he fixes its rate or value as gold only, but not as that particular ornament. Similarly, the man with Adhyatma outlook sees everything in this creation as sees everything in this creation as Brahma, but not as beings with dissimilar names. यथाकाशो हृषीकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदात् भिन्नवत् भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत्. यथाकाशो हृषीकेशो नानोपाधिगतो विभुः तद्भेदात् भिन्नवत् भाति तन्नाशे केवलो भवेत्. Just as the all-pervading Akasha, the sky, appears to be diverse on account of its association with various conditionings, upadhis, which are different from each other. The omnipresent truth appears to be diverse on account of its association with the various upadhis. The omnipresent truth becomes one after the various upadhis are destroyed. Whatever is above earth is sky. Then what is in a house is also sky, though we are distinguishing the house as drawing room, bedroom, kitchen and bathroom, or by constructing walls. The walls are man-made and due to worldly reasoning, keeping us in a belief that they are all different rooms, though they are actually sky. Once the walls are removed, there is no room and no house. What is left there is sky. Similarly, if man-made reasoning can be ignored, then we can see Paramatma in every being. Here, just thinking is not enough, but one must be able to feel and believe this concept wholeheartedly. Nanopadi Vashadeva Jati Varnasramadayah Atmanyaropitas-toye Rasavarnadi Bhedavat. Nanopadi Vashadeva Jati Varnasramadayah Atmanyaropitas-toye Rasavarnadi Bhedavat. Ideas such as caste, color, and position are imposed upon the Atman on account of its association with the different upadhis, with the different bodies, just as flavor, color, etc. are imposed upon water. Pure water is same everywhere and has no color, taste and smell. Only when subjected to human reasoning, we feel color or taste or smell. Similarly, because of faulty reasoning, we feel pure Atma as a different body. Pure Atma, we feel pure Atma as different body beings, different races and different origins. Even great scholars are influenced by the Maya or delusion of Paramatma, so much that Atma is overshadowed by Anatma, and we distinguish human being as man or woman of a particular race and a particular region or of a particular country. If one can look beyond this faulty reasoning, the pure Atma in every being can be visualized. पञ्चीकृतमहाभूतसम्भवं कर्मसञ्चितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते. Shankara Bhagavad describing the body. पञ्चीकृतमहाभूतसम्भवं कर्मसञ्चितं शरीरं सुखदुःखानां भोगायतनमुच्यते. Due to a particular formulation of 5 elements of nature, Panchabhutas, which are earth, fire, sky, water and air, the human body is made. This is called Sthula Sharira, gross body. The medium through which the Atma experiences and pleasure and pain. This is given by Paramatma on the basis of karma done by it in its previous births. The process of such formulation of the 5 elements is called Panchikarana, where one half of each of the 5 elements mixes with one of the other 4. Modern science concepts are worked in a different way, but basically it is the nature's 5 elements that make human body. Science says it is made up of cells. A cell is made up of organic matter, which is called by our ancient jnanis, ancient people of knowledge as earth. Science agrees that air and water are there in the body. We also experience there is a lot of water and air in this body. The sky is actually anything empty. There is a lot of empty space in our body, which is sky. There is fire in our body, though we cannot see it, but we feel it. We feel it. We see our temperature. We see our temperature. Modern science calls it acidic reactions, which are vital for digestion. So, the conclusion that human body is made up of just organic matter is only half the story. Jnanis consider that the main part of the formation of the human body has to do with Sanchita karma, that is the vast store of past actions, the fruits of which have not been reaped. पंचप्राण मनोबुद्धि दशेन्द्रिय समन्वितम् अपंचीकृतभूतोद्धं सूक्ष्मांगं भोगसाधनम्. पंचप्राण मनोबुद्धि दशेन्द्रिय समन्वितम् अपंचीकृतभूतोद्धं सूक्ष्मांगं भोगसाधनम्. The 5 pranas are prana, apana, vyana, udana and samana. 10 organs or 5 organs of perception, eyes, ears, tongue, nose and skin, and 5 organs of activity, speech, that is mouth, hands, legs and organs of excretion. The Sukshma Sharira, subtle body, is a combination of 17 ingredients, 5 pranas, 10 organs, mind and intellect. The instruments with which we experience pain and pleasure. The Sthula Sharira, gross body, is the one that gets old, diseased and dies. Sukshma Sharira leaves the gross body at the time of death and gets rebirth. It is not Atma that gets rebirth according to Advaita doctrine. Atma is nothing but a form of Paramatma. It manifests itself in Sukshma Sharira and gets involved in the ties of human relations and gets elations and sorrows. It also does various karmas, actions, both good and bad. Naturally, the results follow and the Sukshma Sharira gets the rewards called good births and punishments called mean births. This process of rebirth stops only if in any birth this Sukshma Sharira gets out of Maya and understands the Atma in its body and gives up worldly attachments and starts leading a life that befits Paramatma, the ultimate godliness. Then it will join Paramatma, which is called moksha or kaivalya, otherwise liberation. Religion going back to the Godhood. Till it is attained, these worldly pleasures and sorrows will be haunting it in every birth. In every birth, they will be haunting this jiva. Anadya vidya nirvachya karanopadiruchyate upaditritaya dhanyamatmanamavadharayet. Avidya, ignorance, has no beginning and also quite difficult to define. This is also called Karana Sharira, causal body. So every living body has 3 forms of Shariras, that is Sthula, gross body, Sukshma, subtle body, and Karana, causal body. The gross body and the subtle body are products of avidya, and therefore avidya is called the causal body, known for certain that Atma is none of these. It is the witness to their 3 bodies and never to be identified with them. Atma or self-luminous consciousness illumines the activities of the gross and subtle bodies. It is itself detached from all the bodies. Because of ignorance, we think and attribute all the qualities of the 3 Shariras to Atma. That is what is called as ignorance. Panchakoshadi yogena tattanmaya yavastitah Suddhatma nila vastradi yogena spatiko yatha. When covered by a blue cloth, a pure colorless crystal looks like a blue crystal. Similarly, because of the union with the 5 koshas, the pure Atma appears to have borrowed their qualities upon itself. The 5 koshas, sheaths, are Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya and Anandamaya, Pancha koshas. The details of all these koshas are well described in the second chapter of Taittiriya Upanishad. Annamaya Kosha is the physical body. Pranamaya Kosha is the one that has 5 pranas that breathes life into this physical body. Manomaya Kosha is responsible for our twin feelings like happiness and sorrow. It controls our mind. Vijnanamaya Kosha controls our intellect. These 3 constitute the Sukshma Sharira. The Anandamaya Kosha, which belongs to our Karana Sharira and controls our emotions, is not real Ananda. Real and Shashvata Ananda, true and permanent Ananda belongs to Atma. It is therefore established that none of the 3 Shariras is Atma. वपुस्तुषादिभिः कोशैर्युक्तयुक्त्वावघाततः आत्मानमन्तरं शुद्धं विविच्यात् तण्डुलं यथा. Just as rice is obtained by pounding paddy and separating the husk, bran, etc., we can separate pure Atma pure Atma within from the encircling of 5 koshas through careful discrimination. When one clearly realizes the soul to be distinct from the koshas, he becomes detached from them. This detachment is followed by knowledge of the self. Sada sarvagatoPyatyana sarvatravabhasate buddha vevavabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. Buddha vevavabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. Atma pervades everywhere, but it will not shine in everything. It will manifest only in the purest form of buddhi. As a perfect image is reflected in a perfect mirror, Atma can shine only in the purest form of buddhi or intellect, which is an integral part of Sukshma Sharira. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakrtibhyo vilakshanam tadvrutti sakshinam vidyadatmanam rajavatsada. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakrtibhyo vilakshanam tadvrutti sakshinam vidyadatmanam rajavatsada. As a king observes the entertainment in his court hall without being a participant, Atma is distinct from the body, senses, mind and intellect and is the witness of their functions. Vyavruteśvindriyāśvātmā vyāpārīva vivekinām drishyate breshu dhāvatsu dhāvanniva yadha shashi. Drishyate breshu dhāvatsu dhāvanniva yadha shashi. An ignorant person thinks that the moon is moving, whereas it is the clouds that are really moving. So we always experience just by seeing the moon in the sky. We feel generally as if the moon is moving. Similarly, to the non-discriminating people, the Atma appears to be active when it is observed through the functions of these sense organs. Atma chaitanyamāsritya dehendriyamanodhiyah svakriyādheshu vartante suryalokam yadha janāh. आत्मचैतन्यमाश्रित्य देहेन्द्रियमनोधियः स्वक्रियार्थेषु वर्तन्ते सूर्यलोकं यथा जनाः. As men do their work, as men do their own work in the light of sun, the body, organs, manas and buddhi do their own work in Atma Chaitanya or consciousness. When the sun shines, we do so many acts, both good and bad, in sunlight. Though the sun is in no way responsible other than giving light. Similarly, for the actions of body, organs, manas or buddhi, Atma is not to be held responsible. Dehendriya gunan karmanyamale sachidatmani adjastantya vivekena gagane nilata divat. As one believes the sky is blue, all the deeds and characteristics of body and organs are attributed to blemishless Atma due to lack of power of discrimination. Pure Atma is blemishless and it has both Sat and Chit. It has no birth, age, death, achievements or failures. It is not therefore possible to characterize it. Body and organs do both good and bad deeds. Their result will go to Sukshma Sharira, but not to pure Atma. That is why AdiSankara argues that pure Atma is the light within, but not Jivatma, which is forced to take births till it attains purity and becomes pure Atma or Brahman. The deeds done by body and organs are like illusions as far as pure Atma is concerned. It is like the deeds of a character in a play or drama which do not affect the person donning the role. Ajnanan manasopadhe kartrutvadini chatmani kalpyante ambugate chandre charanadi yatham bhasah. The reflection of moon in water that is not still gives an impression that the moon is moving because of ignorance. Similarly, due to ignorance, the deeds, feelings and responsibilities are attributed to Atma, though they belong to Sukshma Sharira. When we say some person has done a good or bad deed, or his thinking is evil or noble, or he is enjoying or suffering, every time we mean his body but not his pure Atma. Ragecha sugadukkhadi buddhau sattva satyam pravartate sushuptau nasti tannase tasmat buddhestuna atmanah. Attachment, desire, happiness, pain and such other feelings are perceived to exist so long as mind or intellect functions. They are not perceived in deep sleep, sushupti, when the mind ceases to exist. Therefore, they belong to the mind alone and not to Atma. प्रकाशोऽर्कस्य तो यस्य शैत्यमग्निर्यथोष्णता स्वभावः सच्चिदानन्द नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः. स्वभावः सच्चिदानन्द नित्यनिर्मलतात्मनः. Brightness is sun's nature. Coolness is water's nature. Heat, fire's nature. Similarly, the nature of Atma is Sat, absolute existence. Chit, absolute knowledge. Ananda, absolute bliss, permanence and purity. सच्चिदंशश्च बुद्धेर्वृत्तिरिति द्वयम् संयोज्य च विवेकेन जानामीति प्रवर्तते. Due to the indiscriminate blending of the existence knowledge aspect of Atma and the thought wave of Buddhi or intellect, there arises the notion of I know. Atma's nature is Sat and Chit, which is absolute without time and space. The mind's behavior is always limited to time and space. The behavior of the mind is always limited to time and space. Whereas Atma's nature is Sat and Chit, which is absolute without time and space. When we get Atma Jnana or self-knowledge, there is only Jnana, knowledge, but no learner and nothing to learn. Pure Atma does not have any of the weaknesses of Manas. That is why it is does not think I know. It is the mind's weakness like ego that causes ignorance and makes one think I know. आत्मनो विक्रिया नास्ति बुद्धेर्बोधो न जाद्विति जीवः सर्वमलं ज्ञात्वा ज्ञाता दृष्टेति मुह्यति. ज्ञाता दृष्टेति मुह्यति. Atma never does anything. It is eternal. It is knowledge itself and is not affected by the mental thoughts and physical actions. Buddhi or intellect has no capacity to experience I know. But the individuality, jiva, in us, in its ignorance of its true nature, falsely identifies itself with the body, mind and intellect and thinks out of delusion that himself is the see and the knower. रज्जु सर्पवद आत्मानं जीवो ज्ञात्वा भयं वहेत् नाहं जीवः परात्मेति ज्ञातश्चेर्निर्भयो भवेत्. Just as one regards a mere rope as a snake and is overcome by fear because of illusion and fears to touch it, the jiva, due to thinking that he is a human being but not Paramatma itself, is overcome by fear. But when he learns with the definite jnana that he is Brahma himself, he will be above all such reactions and never fears of anything. आत्मवभासयत्येको बुद्ध्यादीनिन्द्रियाण्यपि दीपो घटादिवत्स्वात्मा जडैस्त्वयर्नावभास्यते. Just as a lamp illumines a pot or a jar, the Atma illumines the mind and the sense organs also. These material objects like pot cannot illuminate themselves because they are inert and have no chaitanya. The Atma in us is the one illuminating factor, the pure consciousness which alone illumines the mind, buddhi and sense organs. Swabodhe nanyabodhe cha bodharupatayatmanah nadipasyanyadeepe cha yatha swatma prakashane. Atma, which is knowledge itself, does not require other knowledge to know it. Just as a lighted lamp does not need another lamp to illumine its light. Atma is explained earlier, is itself the illuminating one. That else, what else can illuminate it? The only requirement is removal of ignorance. Then automatically the illumination of Atma comes out. निषिध्य निखिलोपाधीन् नेति नेतीति वाक्यतः विद्यादैक्यं महावाक्यैर्जीवात्मा परमात्मनोः. The oneness of the individual soul, Jivatma, and the Supreme Soul, Paramatma, as indicated by the Vedic aphorisms, Mahavakyas, has to be realized by process of negation of the conditioning, Upadhis. Through the help of spiritual statements, it is not this, it is not this, neti, neti. The Vedic aphorisms, Mahavakyas are Rigveda, Prajnanam Brahma, meaning consciousness itself is Brahma. Yajurveda, Aham Brahma Asmi, meaning I am Brahma. Samaveda, Tattvamasi, meaning that one is you. Atharva Veda, Ayamatma Brahma, meaning this Atma itself is Brahma. If one understands the Mahavakyas, in all the Vedas, he can start realizing that Atma is not Manas or mind. Likewise, by discriminating and eliminating one by one, we can find out Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma. Avidyakam Sariradi Drishyam Budbudat Vatsaram Yetat Vilakshanam Vidyadaham Brahmeti Nirmalam. The forms of all these three Sariras, that is the gross Stula, the subtle Sukshma, and the causal Karana, are time bound like bubbles in water. Atma is none of these and is pure Brahma itself. Once anyone realizes through discrimination that he is nothing but pure Brahma, he will not identify himself with any of the Sariras and is immune to all dualities and feelings. Deha nyatva anname Janma jara karshvalayadayah Sabdadi vishay sango virindriyataya nacha. The following meditation slokas 32 to 36, they are suggested in order to strengthen the knowledge of the soul's oneness with Brahma. I am not the body that has time-bound existence, birth, old age, weakness and death. I have nothing to do with the sense objects, such as sound and taste, for I am without the sense organs. We are talking about pure Atma. For a Brahmajnani, only Atma is the concern. All the organs and body that constitute three forms of Sariras are of no relevance to him. He will not get attached to any of them. So far, him there are no births, no attachments, and no interest in the pleasures and pains caused by sense organs. By getting detachment from them, he is able to get eternal bliss. As explained earlier, the process of discrimination is taking place by confirming one by one that I is not this and this. First it is confirmed that I is not body or organs.